Entombed was a game I used to own. It was shit. Great. Now we can start the video. Holy shit, that sound. That sound has haunted me for 15 years. Yes, this is Entombed, a game that just kind of appeared on the family PC one day. We had an interesting relationship, to say the least, but since it doesn't run on any operating system past Windows XP, it's been a while since I last played it. Recently though, I managed to get it running in a virtual machine, so I thought, hey, I'm really hating life right now. Why not make it even worse by torturing myself with some crappy Windows 3.1 game? So here we are. I guess I'll just start a new game. It's too dark to see. Well, I admit everything's looking a bit grey, but I can see pretty well. The only thing I can interact with is this light switch on the wall. Ah yes, using my extensive knowledge of Egyptian imagery, I can safely say we are looking at a representation of the sun, the moon, and Malteser? Oh, okay, it's actually the Earth. Could have fooled me. Seriously though, this is only the first puzzle and I already have no idea what's going on. Pulling this moon doesn't seem to be doing anything. I guess I'll fiddle with what's supposed to be the Earth. Nothing. Again? No? What if I pull the moon now? Still nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna keep rotating the Earth and pulling the moon till something happens. Wait, it worked? That was supposed to be a joke. Why did it actually work? I think this first puzzle sums up the game pretty well. Click shit until stuff happens. You never really understand what's going on, but it works out in your favour in the end. Well, sometimes anyway. Some of the puzzles aren't all in the same place. You could move these tiles around all day and you wouldn't achieve anything. How do you solve it? Well, you see, there are some buttons you need to press to activate these symbols which switch the moons with suns, but only one of them does this, and only when it's the only one pressed in? How am I supposed to know all this? I don't know. In short, there's a lot of trial and error, and I probably wouldn't be alone when I say that's not the most satisfying way to solve a puzzle. You kinda lose that sense of accomplishment when you work it out, and get more of a sense of, what the fuck just happened? Second chamber. I still have no idea how these lights work, but yeah. Here we see another type of puzzle in this game. The type that you just can't do anything with. The best type of puzzle. Wait, what? Did I just get crushed by the door? And I lost a life? Okay, so this game has lives, and I've already lost one on the second room. How am I supposed to complete this if I just get fucked out of the blue like that and I've only got 3 lives? Oh, I see. You have to complete a puzzle to go through, I guess. These puzzles are pretty cool in theory, but in practice they're just a huge pain. You have to select the correct shapes that make up the big picture. Sounds simple, right? Yeah, it would be, if there was any indication of where to start whatsoever. Does it start at the top? Does it start at the bottom? Does it go left to right or right to left? It's terrible! What usually ends up happening is that you'll find one you can do, and just get the others wrong until that one comes round again. Great, another one of these lights. Apparently this is supposed to be a puzzle. There's a bit too much puzzle here for my liking. Let's move on. Okay, apparently I can't. Oh right, there's a floor puzzle. Except, shouldn't I be dead? Apparently the doors don't kill you in this room. Why not? They did in the last room! Could the developers not be bothered to add a death animation for when the doors are at an angle? The doors aren't even on screen. If you're going to have a feature like that, at least make it consistent. Next room, same procedure, bullshit the lights, we're bound to get it eventually. Oh no, I forgot about this puzzle. This terrible, terrible puzzle. If you haven't been put off this game already, then your patience is about to be tested. Like the door floor puzzles, in theory, it's simple. Just play back the melody given to you. Easy, right? Yeah, if you're pitch perfect, this shouldn't be a problem, but for the rest of us plebs, this is going to be a lot harder. Honestly, it wouldn't even be so bad if there was some kind of marking letting us know which note was which. Then you could be like, oh, that was the 4th note, that was the 5th note, but no, it's just an empty box. I have vivid memories as a kid of holding up a piece of paper to the screen, trying to separate the box into 7 equal sections in an attempt to make it easier to remember what's going on. But luckily, now we live in the future. I didn't have a video camera when I was a kid, but now smartphones are all too common, and we can record and play back the melody as many times as we like. Alright, time to re-enter the melody. How do we do that? Easy. If we click on this symbol on the right, it shows us which section of water corresponds to each note. As you can see, the far leftmost section corresponds to the lowest note, and since our melody begins on the lowest note, we'll click that one first. Wait, what? I failed? But I clicked the right note. Am I mistaken? Am I going insane? No, the lowest note is clearly on the far left. Why isn't it working? And none of the other notes are working either. Well, except the middle one. Wait, does that mean the lowest note is actually on the far right? Even though the game said the lowest note was on the far left, it's clearly meant to be there. Why are all the notes reversed? Where is the logic? This has to be a mistake. How are you supposed to work that out except through trial and error? And what's even the point? Why intentionally misguide players into thinking one thing if the answer is actually the complete opposite? There's literally no reason for this to be here. You might as well have just let players work out the notes for themselves. It'd be a lot less infuriating. Well, at least there can't be any puzzles worse than this. Okay, what is this? Why is there a giant Islamic symbol on the wall? That's just the Star and Crescent. It's the Star and Crescent, except the star's been replaced by a triangle. I don't know if this is what they were going for, but... Oh shit. Have I just desecrated some ancient religious symbol? Okay, if anyone asks, I was never here. This game is pretty much entirely made up of these crappy wall puzzles, and each one seems to make even less sense than the last. This one doesn't look too bad though. Looks like we just gotta rotate the stars so they match with the other stars. Easy. Now on to star 2. It's not doing anything. Maybe it matches with another star. No? It's not working. Why aren't any of them doing anything? Oh right, you have to click the sun afterwards. Of course. Let's try the next star now. Why can't this game just follow logical patterns? Is it the third star? It's not the third star. Is it the fourth star? It's the fourth star! Of course it's the fourth star! Why wouldn't it be the fourth star? Whatever, let's just click the sun. It's not doing anything! Why can't this game just set rules and stick by them? Oh, I see. You have to press the moon a certain amount of times before you can press the sun. How many times do you have to press the moon? I have absolutely no fucking clue! Zero, zilch, nothing! It's different every time and there's literally no indication for when the sun is clickable. But we did it somehow and now we can take the sun. We deserve it. So, is there a place I can store this thing? Here? Oh, I didn't know you could do that. The missing day piece. This is interesting. It works for the piece of symbol I broke off earlier too, which is called the stellar pointer. How much of this information have I been missing? Oh. Turns out there's a guide of every room and every puzzle in the game, in the form of an encyclopedia called Henry Who's Diary. I don't know who Henry Who is, but apparently he was an archaeologist who came here before me. Evidently, I found it when I entered this tomb, but what I don't get is how he left it here. 1, I'm the first person to have come here, as evidenced by the hole in the ceiling and the rubble. 2, there's no way in here. The key to opening the door is in the morning puzzle room. 3, there's literally no reason to come in here. And 4, why was the diary left here when the exit is presumably all the way on the other side of the tomb? I've read there are supposed to be around 5 floors to this place. I can only imagine Henry Who was about to leave before being like, wait, hold on guys. I've got to go leave my diary for the next moron who gets trapped here, before walking back through all 5 floors risking his life for no reason whatsoever. Video game logic aside though, the diary says that sun I found belongs in the big sun in the second chamber, except it doesn't go in because why would it? Keep calm, keep calm. When in doubt, consult the diary. You may have also noticed the quarter sun motifs also appear on the corners of the morning puzzle when the acid pull buttons are all pressed in. All the buttons, gotcha. Okay, now what? Of particular interest to me was that some of these points are larger than the rest. Select the points that are larger than the rest. Easy. I have to say, knowing this diary exists makes the game a lot easier, except on the music puzzle, that's still bullshit. It also makes the game a lot more interesting. Reading about all the lore of the tomb is pretty fun. The most important thing about it though, is it tells you where all the instant deaths are. For example, these doors. Because of this, it becomes less of a handy guide, and more of a necessary to read at the start of every room or you'll get fucked guide. Anyway, this puzzle from earlier seems to have revealed itself, and it's a race course? As you can see, there are moons on one side and suns on the other. If we read the diary, it says we must first correct the alignment of these planets. Now, I'm no astronomy expert, but I don't think it takes a genius to know that the sun is not a planet. Then again, maybe back in 1995 it was a planet. Maybe it's one of those Pluto situations. Maybe one day some dude just looked up at the sky and said, hey guys, I don't think that's a planet. It could just be me being dumb, but you know, I'm not entirely sure the moon's a planet either. But then again, I'm no scientist. I'm sure there's someone out there who can correct me. So it turns out correcting the alignment of the planets just means switching the suns and the moons around, which isn't a problem. And that's the end of level 1. I feel like now would be a good time to save the game. Ignoring the fact that the map now appears oddly phallic, let's press on. Oh, okay. You see what I mean about the diary. It's absolutely crucial that you read it, or else face the consequences. I guess I'm down to 1 life now. Unless... Okay, I can just load the game. Why do you have lives in a game where you can save at any point? It's stupid. It just adds another level of tediousness having to save at the beginning of every room. It's like the devs wanted deaths in their game, but what's the point of having deaths if there are no lives? But likewise, what's the point of lives if they don't mean anything? There are only 2 groups of people who are affected by this. The lazy, who can't be bothered to save, and the forgetful, who forget to save and are punished by it. Back to the puzzle, however, I actually have no idea what to do here. I can't click anywhere or I just die. To be honest, when I played this game as a kid, this was the furthest I ever got. I just couldn't work it out. And I can't do it now either, but luckily I have something now that I didn't have when I was a child. A walkthrough. Now, let's see. Says here I have to throw the rock through the doors to make the electricity visible. What rock? No, this is the first time a rock has been mentioned throughout this entire walkthrough. I can't just conjure objects out of thin air. You need to tell me how to get them. You mean this rock? We can try. Evidently not. I have no clue what to do here.
Brainwave!
The rubble. Yes, this must be it. Or perhaps not? I can't seem to pick these rocks up. Oh, right. I can pick this one up. The smallest, most insignificant one there. You couldn't have made it less obvious if you tried. No doubt I tried to pick these rocks up in the past, but after having nothing happen after clicking the biggest ones, I evidently gave up. Clearly though, the problem was with me. I should have known to click every rock as well as every torch and every light as well. How could I have been so dumb? So now, of course, we go back to the electric doors, only stopping to solve the new floor locks, which have suddenly become a lot harder for some reason. So let's do what the walkthrough says and throw the rock through. Oh, I see. We just have to avoid the lasers. Easy. As I've already said, I never got past this section as a kid, so from this point on, we're exploring unfamiliar territory. But how bad can it be? What? What the fuck is that? The developers have suddenly decided this is going to be a horror game, I guess. Well, they're doing a decent job. I'm pretty spooked. Anyway, it's time for the second level, and it's just awful. We're gonna blitz through this because I kinda don't want this video to be 40 minutes long like the last one. And also, I'd much rather be playing some Dark Souls 3 or something. A game that makes me equally as angry, but is also a lot more fun. So first of all, we've got this puzzle. I'd have to say the sound effects for this are just top notch and not annoying at all. But once you've mashed the buttons randomly enough, the door to the next room opens. And like all the other rooms, it has a light puzzle. Except because this is level 2, they've changed them. I hadn't even deciphered how the lights in level 1 worked, but now they're just nightmarish. You've got to adjust the fullness of the moon depending on the intensity of the sun, which is fair enough. But then you have to select the correct level of tide? Do they expect me to know the level of the tide for each phase of the moon? Because I don't. I'm not a waterologist. Oceanologist? Meteorologist? Google, help me. I need to look smart for the video. Well, I was close. Luckily, like the first set of lights, you can easily bullshit these ones too by just pressing everything. Doing so reveals this cave, which is too dark to explore right now. So let's go about fixing that, shall we? On the other wall is another puzzle or some shit, I don't care. The real point of interest is what's coming up. The first part of the puzzle is this room. This button opens the door down here, and this circle allows us to select which door we want to open upstairs. Except you can't change it unless the door down here is closed. No problem, let's move on. So opening a door reveals one of 3 machines. The idea is that you are trying to make a torch to light your way in the scary cave, and you do that by entering values into the control panels at the sides. How do you know what to enter? You don't! You have to guess. This wouldn't be so bad if it told you what you got wrong and what you got right. A bit like a classic code-breaking game. But no, you have to try every single combination, and there's like over 80 of them with 3 correct answers. 3 correct answers out of 80. Who thought that would be a good idea? So now we've got our piece of crystal, what do? We go down the stairs, close the door, open the next room, open the door, go up the stairs, solve the light puzzle, and oh great, we're blessed with another of these fucking machines. This time you have to put your crystal in the machine for it to run. So we do that, we enter some values, we turn it on, and... What? Where the fuck is my crystal? Are you telling me it breaks if you put the wrong code in? Yes it does. And so we have to go back down the stairs, close the door, open the first room, open the door, go up the stairs, solve the light puzzle yet another time, and we get our crystal back and we go down the stairs and we close the door, and you get the idea! Like with the first machine, there's over 80 different combinations to this. Are you beginning to see the problem here? What makes it even worse is that you remember when I said there are 3 correct combinations for the first machine? Well, only one of those solutions works for the second machine, meaning there are over 240 possible combinations, and only one of them is correct! How are humans supposed to work this out? And you'll never guess what's in the last room. Another fucking machine. Can you blame me for using a walkthrough for this puzzle? Nevertheless, I eventually get what I need, which I'm supposed to take back here in level 1. I insert the crystal like so, and then I select the stellar pointer. Where the fuck is my stellar pointer? Did I forget to pick it up? No, it's not there. Then where is it? How did I lose it? You can't drop items in this game. This is the most bullshit thing that's ever happened to me. So, I guess I have to play the whole game all over again. Fast forwarding through all this blah 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 blah, ta-da, it's a torch. Happy now? Now we can see in the dark. But if you think for 1 second I'm setting foot inside that dark cave, then you'd be right. After all, what kind of YouTube video would this be if I didn't go inside the scary maze? Okay, here we go. Ah, turns out this maze is shinier than expected. I thought it was going to be a dark spooky cavern, but this seems manageable. If we turn around, we can observe what appears to be a giant butthole? Yes, we entered this maze through a huge anus. I'd rather not think about it as well. Well, so far this maze appears to be pretty straightforward. In fact, you don't even need to look at the picture to know what's going on. It's much easier to just use the map at the side. It gives you a lot more information and...
Ouch.
Excuse me? What the fuck was that? Yeah, there's a weird spirit thing that follows you around everywhere, and occasionally says shit to you. Shall we take a closer look at him? What is this? No really, what is this? This is the worst jump scare I've ever seen in my life. If I can even call it a jump scare. Yeah, it may make you jump a bit the first time, but it's more funny than scary. Just look at it. It's just a shitty picture of a face stretched over a giant egg. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in a video game. At least one that's taking itself seriously. You know what? I've had enough of this crap. I'm done with this game. No more, I'm out. I can safely say this is one of the worst puzzle games ever made. Entombed, you can suck my dick. But you'll always have a nostalgic place in my heart. It may be an awful puzzle game, but it's got so much character. Maybe one day I'll complete this game. Nah, Dark Souls time.
This meme will never die because we are in the bin. We are in the bin. We are in the bin.